to Science with Sophie. This week, we have a brand new experiment for you to do with your friends in school or at home. This week, the experiment is Sophie's Magic Ketchup Experiment. So, let's take a look at this. Sophie's Magic Ketchup Experiment. Okay, so this is my scientific question. Let's find out what happens when you put a ketchup packet in a water bottle and squeeze. Now, some key words I have here are buoyancy, mass, weight, and density. So, as I said, my scientific question is what happens when you put a ketchup packet in a water bottle and squeeze? So, before I even did the experiment, I made a prediction, a hypothesis. I predicted that the only thing that would change is that the water level in the water bottle would rise. So, let's identify our materials. We have a 1-liter plastic bottle, a ketchup packet in that bottle, and kosher salt, 3 tablespoons. But you might not need it. It's only, if necessary. So now let's design the steps in the experiment. Step number 1, remove all labels from the 1-liter bottle. I already did that, as you can see. Now, fill the 1-liter bottle with water. I've already done that. Insert the ketchup packet into the water bottle and screw the cap back on tightly. If the ketchup packet floats when you put it in, you're all set, you can move on. You can go ahead. If you put it in and it sinks, then add 3 tablespoons of kosher salt and then move on. So our ketchup packet float, so we're all set. Now, squeeze the sides of the bottle hard with your hand. Now release the pressure so you're back to loosely holding it. What does the ketchup packet do? So, my results or conclusion is as you squeeze the bottle, the ketchup packet sinks. As you release the pressure, returning to the regular holding position, it floats back up to the top. Now, I know what you all are thinking right now. You're thinking, well, how does it work? I'm about to tell you. So, this experiment is all about buoyancy and density. Density deals with the amount of mass an object has. Adding salt adjusted the water's density to get the ketchup packet to float. Buoyancy is whether objects float or sink. Buoyancy is normally associated with liquids or various gases. So, we all know that bubbles float, right? And we know that the ketchup packet isn't entirely filled with ketchup. There's a little air bubble inside it, so that bubble keeps it from sinking. When you squeeze the bottle hard, you're putting pressure on the packet. The bubble gets smaller, and the entire packet becomes more dense than the water around it, so the packet sinks. When you release the pressure, the bubble expands, and the packet becomes less dense and more buoyant, so it floats back up. This experiment is known as the Cartesian diver. So, I bet when I was doing this experiment, you had tons of questions racing through your head. I sure did. I'm going to tell you 3 of my questions. My first question is, does the size of the bottle affect how hard you have to squeeze? So, this is a 1-liter bottle. Say we had a 2-liter bottle, and I did the experiment and I squeeze it. Would it be harder, easier, or maybe just the same? Second question, does the temperature of the water affect the density of the ketchup packet? So, like if this is room temperature water. So it's not hot, not cold. If this was really cold water, would it not sink or would it be harder to squeeze? I don't know. You can find out. And my last question is, do different packets like mustard or soy sauce have the same density? So those are just a few questions that you can experiment with or just think about. That's a wrap. See you next time on Science with Sophie.